Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have tuned into another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter. And in the middle, my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And to the far right, we have today's special guest, former New York Mets and Los Angeles Dodgers and Florida
That's right, man.
Marlin outfielder, former Clemson University outfielder, Jerry Brooks. What's going
Jerry
on,
Brooks,
Jerry?
what's up? What's up? So glad to have you.
What's going on, Jerry? Can you hear us? Not much,
What's going
man.
on?
Glad to have you on the show today, man. For the people that don't know you, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background, if you can hear me back there.
What was the question? I didn't hear the question.
I said, let the people know where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, man. I was born and raised in Syracuse, New York. It's upstate, about 5 hours northwest of, what y'all know is New York, anyways, New York City.
Yep.
But yeah, it's up there. Humble beginnings, of course. Uh, a lot of snow. Y'all don't know anything about that, and I did a little background check. Y'all, Orangeburg,
Yeah.
somewhere around there,
Yep.
Orange, Grapefruitburg. I don't know what is it.
Oh man, look at it. They got jokes. I hear you. We got the ballers coming
Bird.
from the bird,
Yeah.
baby. You know it? Yes, sir. For the people that don't know, let them know how you started out playing baseball, man. Did you start it out in New York or did you started playing another sport first?
Nah, dog. My pops is responsible for getting me and my older brother started in baseball, but a lot of things happened before we even started playing baseball. You ain't gonna believe it, but uh, he used to take us to the ice skating rink. I know from where a lot of us come from, roller skating was big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he used to take us to the ice skating rink in the wintertime, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think it helped with some balance stuff when you're real young, and maybe leg strength, whatever, coordination.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but yeah, no, my pops got me started in baseball, myself and my 15-month older brother, and we kind of came up, and I came up competing against him in the courtyards of the projects. We used to get tennis balls or any kind of thing that we could find, and a stick, or if we had found an old bat or one of we figured out a way to make it happen. I used to pitch to him, he used to hit, and when he get out, he had to pitch to me until I got out. We do one-on-one baseball. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Yeah, we used to do that.
Yeah, man. My father and my brother. Yeah, man. I started, and then when I got to be about, I think 8 years old, or 7 or 8 or something like that. I think it was 8. I was legal to play football and baseball.
Ooh,
And,
okay.
You know, yeah, man. One of them
Well,
deals
shout out
like
to
that. So, and we couldn't get out there like in the spring. But we were kind of, how do I want to say it? We were limited on what we could do until like in a lot of cases like June, May and June, because upstate New York it snowed through in a lot of cases through April, so we
wow.
couldn't get out there like that, like you can in Orangeburg or around the Clemson area. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, so we weren't getting the same number of reps or the same type,
Okay.
at least the same type of reps. Some of the people, you know, unbeknownst to us, we're gonna be competing against later on in life. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
As far as sports is concerned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah. So, what position was you playing in baseball and football? 'Cause I know you said you played football too.
Um. Well, in high school, I played a little bit of everything. I pitched, played short, third, outfield, did a little bit of everything. Then, but um, in football, beginning of my high school career, I was at corner. Then 11th and 12th grade, I went to safety and quarterback,
Okay.
both ways. Ninth grade
All
through
right.
12th grade, I played quarterback. Well, actually, 10th grade through 12th grade, I was starting quarterback, but I was backup quarterback as well in ninth grade.
Dang, that's what's up.
Yeah.
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 And I actually
So
like football, playing football a little bit better than baseball.
you
It's
did.
just more moving parts and more action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
too.
I wasn't afraid to lay a hat on somebody.
Okay. A quarterback that like to hit
Yeah.
or like to get tackled.
Yeah,
So
but
were
I
you a
played
scrambling
safety too.
quarterback? Okay. Were you a scrambling
We ran
quarterback or you just like to throw it?
we, yeah, we ran a lot of option,
Uh-huh.
and for a minute we was running the wishbone, and then we switched to the eye because we had a pretty
Uh-huh.
good running back, so we wanted to get the ball in the hands of him. He ended up getting a scholarship to Syracuse. He actually uh, ended up being um, pretty much All-American. He was the second or third ranked corner in USA Today coming out of college his senior year, but his knee was jacked up and something happened. He was behind Dion and uh, Donnell Wolford. Y'all
Oh
know who
yeah,
Okay.
Donnell Wolford is,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
but yeah, this dude named Chris Ingram. If you ever able to look at the archives, he he was third in USA Today when they used to rank him.
Uh-huh. Okay, his camera went out. It should come back.
Okay.
Oh, he dropped off. He should be coming back in. There he is. Yes, sir. We back.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay. You got better
I'm in
reception
my
now.
ride.
Go
I'm
ahead.
driving. Yeah, I told y'all what I had going on, but yeah, no, um,
Chris Ingram, the cornerback, USA Today, All American.
yeah, no, he passed away not too long ago, but he was
Oh
a real
man.
good friend of mine. Yeah, he's a year older than I was, but yeah, 19, I believe it was either 88 or 89, because Donnell came in when I came in to Clemson, but I was playing baseball, but he was a freshman coming in, incoming freshman, just like I was, but he was playing football, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but as it turns out, my boy that I was talking about from Syracuse, he redshirted his freshman year. Dono played his freshman year, so he didn't redshirt. So they ended up coming out the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and but yeah, no, he he was third behind Dion and Donnell and him. I think we're 1, 2, 3. But his knee that he actually hurt his senior year of high school, and he elected not to get a surgery. Um, he couldn't pass I guess at the time they called it a stress test at the
Okay.
NFL at the combine. He had
Yeah.
like a 39-inch vert.
Vertical.
He ran high 4.4
Okay.
when they were clocking it back then, and I mean, I don't think he did really well on it. He never was really strong on the bench press, but they said his knee wouldn't hold up. And he said,
Yeah.
man, he was on that it was 11-0-1 team, Syracuse
Mm-hmm.
team that was going for the national championship. This was a while back,
Mm-hmm.
and they played Auburn in the Sugar Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach from Auburn, Fry, I believe his name was Fry. I can't remember his last name, but he elected to kick a field goal instead of going for it. He kicked a field goal to tie it, so the game ended in a tie. Otherwise, if they would have stopped them, if Syracuse would have stopped Auburn, they'd have went 12-0 and may have won the national championship. But they ended up going 11-0-1 that year. And Marcus Hall was in the defensive backfield for them. He was a DB. I think he's a DB coach or some sort of coach up here with the Cowboys. He ended up passing away not too long ago.
Oh man.
But he played a
Sorry to
couple
hear that.
years with the Giants and somebody else, I believe. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you played both sports in high school. Did you play any All-American games or would you say All-Star games or anything like that before you went off to college?
No All-American games, but they had something called the Empire State Games in
Uh-huh.
Syracuse, New York.
Uh-huh.
Um, all the best players from the state in baseball would play, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose not to play in the All-Star games for football, but they called me about the Empire State Games.
Mm-hmm.
And now keep in mind, this is 1985, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
albeit in Syracuse, all the guys that were on my travel ball squad were invited to try out for this All-Star game. I mean, this Empire State game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was batting third or fourth. Keep in
Mm-hmm.
mind. Only one with a Division I scholarship, by the way, for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not pitch my senior year.
Okay.
I pitched my junior year, did my thing, but I tweaked my elbow and I said, okay, I don't think I want to pitch in college. I'm just going to go for a position. So I didn't pitch my senior year. And they thought I was faking my injury.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to tear my arm up so can't throw it all.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought I was faking my injury the whole year, my senior year. I had like a 1 ERA my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, it's 1985, so it must be some other reason why me, the only minority on this baseball team, basically. No, there's one other kid. He was ninth grade. But my coach put a rumor out there that he thought I was faking. Didn't want to pitch anymore for him. And so that carried all the way through to the summer after my senior year, during that travel ball squad time, I was batting fourth. I don't want to say I was carrying the team, but I was one of the biggest parts of the team, and offensively, especially. And they called me about joining the Empire State Games. I said, "Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, I'll play. A lot of all my boys playing. They playing." He said, "But you got to be a pitcher." I said, "What? I got to be a pitcher, huh?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "So all the dudes that I've been playing with all summer, and I'm in the middle of the lineup. I'm the main dude in the lineup, and you telling me they got position spots before I did? I'm the reason why we went to the Babe Ruth World Series. I hit the game-winning home run, but those other dudes, you chose them before me. I'm the only one with a Division I scholarship." He said, Yeah, the only spot we got left for you is pitcher. I told him where he could shove that stuff, man. I told him exactly where he could shove it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
and that was my first experience with that I actually was conscious of some sort of bias. That was my
Mm-hmm.
first experience, but it woke me up, dog. It woke me up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, these dudes going Division III and Division II, and they're qualified to be on this team before me.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Mm-hmm. Can you
okay,
hear us? Yeah.
okay, I
You
got you.
froze for a second.
You know, all of us were
So
the dudes in high school. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I know you used
Say
that for
what now? I can't hear
motivation.
you.
You took that to Clemson.
It froze up.
I said I know you used that for. I said I know you used that
Oh,
for
that was all.
motivation and went to
Oh, that's
Clemson.
always. Oh, yeah, that's always been a motivation. You know, and then I ended up going to Clemson. That was a wake up call. Um, I don't know if you guys. I know Bill Wilhelm's a legend over there as far as baseball was concerned, and he
Mm-hmm.
had been there a long time, and he was there a while after I left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was surprised because my visit was in the summer. My visit to them was in the summer because they discovered me late in my high
Mm-hmm.
school season. Because, like I said, we didn't start our season till late,
Okay.
April and May. But my official visit wasn't until school was out. So
Wow.
I went down there just walking around a ghost town, basically.
Yeah.
And when I finally got back for the fall and went to the first camp, or first practice, well, actually, my roommate was Henry Threadgill,
Uh-huh.
black, black guy. He was one of my roommates, Brian Barnes, white guy from North Carolina, and Alan Botkin from Florida. Threadgill was from North Carolina as well. But happens, and I got
Okay.
down there, and I felt like I was behind mechanically as far as
Uh-huh.
my mechanics. Everything felt like I was
Uh-huh.
behind a little bit. I could tell I hadn't gotten as many reps or as good
Mm-hmm.
a coaching. Maybe not. I don't want to blame it on coaching, but I would say more. I could just tell by the way other guys' approaches at the plate, or
Mm-hmm.
that they played a lot more baseball than I did. Because I think in North Carolina, their season was like February, 30,
Yep.
40 gear during the spring.
Yep.
Lucky to play 20.
Yep.
So you could just tell I didn't have as many. I could tell I didn't have as many reps
Yeah.
as some of these guys did. But yeah, I got there, and Coach Wilhelm he woke me up, man. He was real old school. First day of batting practice, we were in the cage, hitting on the field. I was in the batting cage, but we were hitting on the field, open fence and everything. Fence,
Mm-hmm.
and I was, and my best boat couldn't hit the bottom. I was hitting the bottom of the fence. That was my best
Mm-hmm.
boat. And he said, "Son, swing the bat." And I'm trying. He had never seen me play. The assistant coach was the one that convinced him to sign me.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Man, I heard you can hit. Come on, what's going on? Swing the bat, swing." And I'm trying hard. I'm squeezing that bat. Any sport is tense up. So hard, and the harder I tried to swing, and the harder I squoze the bat, the least distance I was getting on the ball. At least it was a. I pulled out. He said, "Son, you can hit me all over the head all day with that swing you got, and I won't need 2 aspirin." I said, "Oh boy." That was the first day. That was the first day. That was the first round of batting practice.
I
You
know.
can hit me over the head with that swing all day, and I won't need 2 aspirin. I said, oh, man. So I get back in there the next round, and he's just talking away again. And excuse me, I'm going to try to keep it PG-13, but, I'm cussing him in my brain, in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, you son of a, and I'm trying, and nothing, no better results, right? And
Yeah.
I get out of the cage, man, and he says, Turtle, the assistant coach was Turtle Thomas. Turtle told me you could swing the bat a little bit, son. We brought you in here so you could take the place of our all-time RBI leader, dude, Jim McCullum. Gave you his number and everything. He told me you're going to be able to take his spot in the lineup. He said, I don't see it. He said, maybe you should go back to New York or where the hell you came. Exactly what he said. Where the hell you came from and go back to junior college. And we need to revisit this in about a year or 2. This was the first day, bro. And I'm like, okay. I to myself, I was still in the cussing him out stage now. And I'm like, okay, I'll show you. Again, motivation.
Yeah.
I didn't fold up, start crying, and go back to my dorm crying. Man, I lived in that weight room for 3 years at Clemson, dog. I lived in that weight room. I said, I'll show you. I ended up being the only freshman to start halfway through that season. Well, I'll say halfway, about third of the way. When we came back from spring break, well, actually, it started on spring break. But, yeah, so never came out of lineup after that. But, boy, he gave you some life lessons without you even knowing it at the time. And he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He pushed all the buttons.
Yeah, he did. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, he pushed all the buttons.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
So, what other universities recruited you at the time? And did you take any visits besides Clemson?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's funny. University of Massachusetts was the first one I visited. And there was this guy by the name of Dave Littlefield, who was the assistant coach at the University of Massachusetts. And so he showed me around and so on and so forth. Huh?
I was saying hey to one of the fans chatting live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And so he was showing me around. I believe they were out of school too at that time. And or maybe they weren't, because that was probably my first one, but I couldn't get back to start visiting again until in the summer when people were out of school. But liked it, was thinking about it. I didn't want to go to school up north. I wanted a southern school to come get me. Yeah. I didn't want to play in that cold weather no more.
Yeah, that's what I'm about
to say. Yeah. And lo and behold, I go visit Clemson, and I guess the guy who I said that recruited me, Turtle Thomas, had got a job somewhere else. I believe he went to Miami or something. I don't even remember exactly where.
Okay.
But when I show up in the fall, and as soon as Clemson came on board, I jumped on it. I ain't wait for nobody else. I didn't go visit nobody else. I didn't go visit anywhere else, really, but because I didn't want to go to none of the northern schools. But I get to Clemson, and guess who's there as the assistant coach? I know you probably forgot. The dude that had recruited me at Massachusetts.
What?
He became the assistant coach. Dave Littlefield, he was the assistant coach at Clemson.
Okay.
All of a sudden. That was funny how that worked out, but
yeah,
man.
So you who was the toughest team back then in y'all conference?
I'm gonna say Georgia Tech. for the
Yeah.
most part. I mean,
Oh
there are a
yeah.
lot of good teams, obviously, in the ACC, but I'm gonna have to say consistently Georgia Tech.
Okay.
I think they won. I think they won the conference
Uh-huh.
2 out of my 3 years there.
Okay.
I want to say that North Carolina was pretty good too,
Okay.
but conference wise, yeah, I'm gonna say it was overall it was Georgia Tech because I think they ended up getting a lot of guys that played with them ended up getting drafted. Matter of
Okay.
fact, I played with probably 2 or 3 of them
Hmm.
in the minor leagues.
Okay.
With, I'm not even saying against. I'm talking about with.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I wanted to play football so bad up there at Clemson
Yeah.
after my
Y'all had
sophomore
all
because one of our, huh?
y'all had a powerhouse during your era.
Oh, I
Go
wanted
ahead.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray
Look, I
Williams.
mean, they weren't the powerhouse with that they are now, but yeah. For instance, one of the other dudes that really um, helped me and um, my roommate Henry Threadgill's transition. They were the Williams. They were the Williamses. Steve Williams, and I believe he's a big time scout with I forget what organization. It was the Pirates, but I think it's might be somebody else now.
Hmm.
But or it might be the Pirates still. But
Uh-huh.
um, Ray Williams, he
Yep.
There
played
you go.
football and baseball,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Sport. Mm-hmm.
man, Ray was a character, man, back then, boy. Tell you what.
Still is.
He still is.
Oh man,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You got any stories about Ray?
oh man, he keep you laughing.
All right.
It was always about having a good time, but not going too far overboard. But
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, man, Ray. I heard about Ray before I even met him, like
Wow.
from Bill Wilhelm, the head coach of the
Yeah.
baseball team. He
Yeah.
used to talk
Okay.
all about Ray. Oh man, he's a great athlete. I'm sorry, I'm holding the phone wrong. I forgot I was on video too. But
You good?
he's oh Ray, you got to see him play. He's a really good athlete. I tell you what. And blah blah blah. But yeah, man, he came over there, man, and he made it real easy for us. Made it a lot more comfortable for me and Henry, along with Steve. You know,
Okay.
That's what's
to
up.
feel comfortable there. But
Okay.
I probably should have wrote down some of the stuff. But right now, I'm kind of in between talking to y'all and driving, and
It's
my
okay.
brain ain't coming up with the
I know.
stories of Ray
Yeah.
Williams. But
Yeah.
boy, oh
Well,
boy,
well, I got some footage here, man, from the Dodgers, and that'll give you some time to regather your thoughts while you drive. It's just basically some clips. You guys had big rivalries with the Giants back then in '93,
oh yeah,
and Tommy
yeah,
Lasorda hated those guys because the wins that they had in '51, '62, and in '91, So he was real big on y'all getting y'all revenge against Matt Williams and Barry Bonds and the rest of those guys. So I'm
yeah.
gonna go ahead and pull this clip up and let you regather yourself.
Hey, Jermaine, before you go there, I got one more question though. I just
What's
want, I
up?
Go ahead.
want, I want to ask him this. So how was it hitting? So how was it hitting your first home run on the college level? I want to know that.
How was it hit my first home run?
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
college.
Oh, okay.
How you-
So, um, I we're getting ready to play Georgia, University of Georgia, and coach was, in practice the day before or something. Yeah, they're gonna pitch this lefty. He tore our butts up last time we played him last year. They got this big hoss on the big hoss. They're gonna probably put him on the mound. We gonna see him. He tore us up, and he said, Brooksy, and I think this was my freshman year, and I think it was my second start,
Okay.
maybe my first start. He said, you're gonna start tomorrow. We're gonna bat you fifth or sixth. I can't remember where I was batting, and you're gonna start. And I'm like, oh, okay. I ain't sleep too good that night, of course, and um, So before the game, I was like, oh man, how am I gonna hit this dude? They telling me, yeah, he got good stuff. He throws this, that, and throws hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Making you nervous.
I mean, yeah, this ain't helping. And there's this backup catcher named Roland. I can't remember for the life of me. Jim, I can't remember. Roland, anyways. Joey. I think it was Joey Roland. He gave me just a small little tip, as far as hitting was concerned. He just said, hey, man, you just got to get that shoulder turned in a little bit. When he turned, you turn.
Yeah.
And that's all I thought about when I got in the back
Right.
box. When he turned to throw the ball, I turned in a little bit without turning my head, of course, but turned in. And, man, it was almost like when he let go of that ball, I started swinging.
God.
And I made first pitch. And I was pretty sure I hit the ball, but I hit it so solid, I did not feel contact.
There you go. The sweet spot.
And I sprint to first because I don't know where the ball went. I didn't see where the ball went.
Yeah.
When I say this, I'm not kidding. It was one of them moments. And I couldn't hear nothing.
Yes,
I couldn't hear nothing.
Yes, sir.
Crowd might have been doing what they were doing. I couldn't hear nothing, bro.
Using his own.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sprinting, and I get all the way to about two steps before second, before the fog kind of lifted a little bit. And the umpire was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He was screaming like with his hands. I was like, oh, I'm out, I guess. And he said no. And he did his hand like this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and touch him. Yeah.
Oh, man. Boy, I don't even remember touching no base, no nothing. I come in, I'm fired up, dog.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's how
I'm
that
gonna go ahead and pull this clip up, man, because I know we're running out of time. I know you got to be somewhere. So I'm going to bring these clips up, and we'll just talk about it, and we'll bring you back on the show another time, and we'll talk more in detail. That sounds good?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of Bill Wilhelm stories.
All right, cool. Well, let me get to this video.
Catch up. But, yeah, go ahead and do your thing.
All right.
Joe Morgan. Center field. Butler. There are 2 down. And in Atlanta, the Atlanta Braves and their fans are still at Fulton County Stadium. And 1 out left, and they will have their 3rd consecutive National League Western Division championship.
They look like they're ready to celebrate, Gary. They're dressed for a celebration.
And 0 for 4 for Bonds. Giant down to their final out. The Dodger fans standing down the left field line. Martinez fly ball. This season is over. The Atlanta Braves win it as the Dodgers take the final game 12-1 against the Giants. For Joe Morgan and all of our crew, this is Gary Thorne.
So well down the stretch what the Giants could not do yesterday against the Dodgers. 103 victories for San Francisco. 103 wins that will in the future get them a wild card. But last night, all it got them was a heartfelt welcome at San Francisco International. The Giants knocked out of a pennant playoff game.
Yeah, so you guys was trying to go into the, in the pennant. You play against the Braves in '93. Y'all knocked the Giants off. Tommy Lasorda was amped up. He was happy. And, Ora Hershiser was talking a lot of trash after that game as well. You had Darryl Strawberry on the bench, and you had Mike Piazza behind the plate. Talk about that a little bit.
Piazza's rookie year, Yeah, no, Piazza that was his rookie year. I was roommate with him spring training one year in Vero Beach, Florida. And, he was going to A-ball that year. And we used to stay up talking and tripping. He was of Italian descent. I'm African-American. We used to clown each other about stereotypes. I mean, if I can say that out here. But it was joking. You know what I mean? It was all joking.
Yeah, I know.
It was funny. We had a good time tripping. That's how comfortable we were with each other, that we could, talk a certain way to each other. And I know people are like, "What? You used to say that?" But he wasn't Mike Piazza back then. You know what I
I
mean?
understand. Yeah.
As the world knows him now, he was
Cool.
just a regular dude, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
And we used to just trip and talk crap, talk mess to each other. And actually, it was 3 to a room, and he had the cot because he was a low man on the totem pole. We had the beds in the room in Vero Beach, and he had the extra cot that they laid out on the side because he was, at the time he was the lowest. Me and Butch Davis, we were going to AAA, and he was going to A-ball, so he got the cot. He didn't get the bed. There was 3 of us in the room.
Yeah.
And but anyways, lo and behold, fast forward, he gets called up in '92 to AAA in Albuquerque, and I'm hit behind him, meaning I'm batting 5th and he's batting 4th. And boy, it was the first time it ever really happened to me where the dude in front of me got pitched around a lot. He started getting pitched around. They ain't want no parts of him, and because he was hitting
time
balls.
For you to eat.
He was hitting balls where the sun don't shine, dog. He was hitting them.
Yeah.
Out, and he ended up getting called up in September of that year. Then he ended up winning the Rookie of the Year the next year. I saw him hit a ball off of, I believe it was Kurt Schilling.
Yep.
In Dodger Stadium. The ball was up probably about close to his neck high.
Yeah.
And he hit a ball out to right field in Dodger Stadium, about almost to the back of the stands. To the opposite field. And balls weren't hit like that by right-handers up there.
Yeah.
And
I feel you.
Yeah, he was doing some stuff that
was unheard of.
That you didn't see. Yeah, you just didn't really see by a catcher, anyways.
Yep. Well, I didn't want to take too much of your time because I know you got something you got to do. I just want to give a tribute to Tommy Lasorda real quick. He just passed away this year. A legendary coach. I can remember him as a little kid, being him and Bobby Cox and a couple other managers at the time. So we're going to do a tribute. And before we get out, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody that you would like to thank along your journey?
Oh, man. Boy, I tell you what, there's too many to count. And if I start counting, I don't want somebody to think I left them out. But, yeah, most definitely Turtle Thomas, Dave Littlefield, Bill Wilhelm, head coach of Clemson back in the day, Miss Edge, my high school guidance counselor, man.
Yep.
Ray Williams, I already shouted him out already. Steve Williams, Greg Gill. I think Ray's still in South Carolina somewhere. I talked to him not too long ago.
Rest in peace, Mike Sharperson.
Oh, man. Mike Sharp? Yeah, we called him Sharp. Oh, yeah, man. Sharp. Coop is Lenny Harris, anyways.
Okay.
I think he's still coaching first base for somebody, but he was the first base coach for the Marlins, the Mets. I don't know if you remember that video by Dion, Must Be the Money.
Yeah.
He was the dude sitting next to Dion in that 6'4".
Okay.
Convertible.
Cool. Yeah.
But anyways, they were good friends because I think they were from the same part of Florida, whatever.
Fort Myers. Yep.
Yeah. Fort Myers, yeah. Right. They're both from Fort Myers.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Tommy,
no problem, man.
Tommy Lasorda, rest in peace, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the opportunity that he gave me.
Yeah,
all right, bro.
Coming on.
I loved it every minute. I never wanted to see the season end. It was amazing.
I can hear the clouds thundering, and I can look up in the sky, and I can see it now. The bony left finger of Tommy Lasorda coming down from heaven. I told you there was a big Dodger in the sky. We laugh and we cry and we mourn today the passing of the man who represented the Dodgers more than anyone in Dodger history. Tommy Lasorda was the Dodgers. He loved them more than anyone else. He worked for them nearly as long as anyone else. He was a tremendous, tremendous manager in the dugout, led him to 2 world championships, also the best ambassador the sport has ever known. He spread the gospel of the Dodgers throughout the world. He was at one point the most famous baseball personality in the world. You talk about people bleeding Dodger blue, Tommy was the one who invented that. Talk about people saying, if you don't believe in the Dodgers or don't love the Dodgers, you won't go to heaven. Well, that's on Tommy Lasorda's answer machine. Tommy Lasorda loved the team beyond all reason. He was symbolic of the cheerleading spirit that became the Dodgers. He made the Dodgers a brand. He made the Dodgers family. He made the Dodgers beloved, just not in the community, but throughout the world. He was symbolic of the organization with all of his bluster, with all of his smarts, with all of his charisma, with all of his Hollywood. And who can forget 1988?
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
Most unlikely team ever to win a world championship. The last Dodger team to win a world championship. Tommy Lasorda running onto the field, arms raised into the air, arms raised to that big Dodger in the sky where surely he sits today. Tommy Lasorda, the Dodger, rest in peace.
Yes, sir. You guys have tuned in to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter, Kevin Johnson in the middle, KJ, and we'd like to thank special guest Jerry Brooks for coming on the show. We'll have him back on again, guys. Now, what's our motto, KJ?
Hey, it's not how you start, man. It's how you finish. So keep
Sir.
going.
All right, you guys be safe out there. Wear your mask. Hey, and take care. Stay tuned to the next episode. We'll holler at you later.
Peace.